Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me for this uplifting, energy boosting, elevating practice. This one should feel really good. So as always, do things at your own pace, leave out anything that doesn't feel safe or suitable for your body today, and just enjoy this practice. We're going to begin in tabletop position today. So coming through to the hands and knees, spread out through your fingers. Place your hands under your shoulders and place your knees under your hips so there's a little bit of space between them. And just start to really ground into this shape. So what I mean by that is pressing down through each of the 10 fingertips and also pressing down through this section of the hands, the base of the knuckles. So you're not letting all of your weight go into the wrists. That's when this can start to feel quite tiring. So pressing down through the base of the knuckles, through the fingertips, straightening out the arms, but trying not to lock out the elbows. So if you've got quite hypermobile elbows, you can see what my arms are doing now. That's kind of locking out. So if that's the case for you, a little micro bend in the elbows. That's a good practice to get into. And then pressing down through the fronts of the feet or the fronts of the toes, so we feel this strong foundation in tabletop position. Try not to collapse down between the shoulders like this. So lifting into the back of the body, pressing through both palms, pushing down through the tops of the feet. Now begin to connect with the breath, drawing the breath in through the nose, releasing the breath out through the nose. Another breath in and out. On this next breath in, drop your belly towards the mat and lift your head. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, round your back, really push your back towards the ceiling, tuck your chin towards your chest. Keep that going, breathing in, looking forwards, lifting the heart. Breathing out, rounding the back, relaxing the head between the arms. A couple more times at your own pace, moving through cat and cow, still pushing down through the base of the knuckles and the fingertips. The hands and forearms might be getting a little bit tired now. One more breath here if you can. Nice, then coming back to a neutral spine, tabletop position. Bring your big toes together, take your knees a little bit wider. Sit back to your heels and come down into an extended child's pose, balasana. Rest your forehead down, take your hands as wide as the mat. Taking a few long conscious breaths, feeling the back of the body expanding, stretching out with the inhalation, and feeling the back of the body softening, feeling your whole body sinking towards the ground on the exhalation. One more breath here. Then coming back up to tabletop position, bring the knees back under the hips. I'm going to tuck the toes, push through the hands, press down through the base of the knuckles again, and just lift your knees to hover, just about an inch away from the ground. Pause and breathe. Try not to collapse between the shoulders like this. Push with your hands, really lift into the space between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths here if you can. And then lift the hips up high, come through to your downward facing dog. You might want to step the hands forwards or the feet back just a little bit. Let your head relax between your arms. Pedal out the feet as much as you need. Relaxing the jaw. Sighing the breath out through the mouth anytime you need to let go of some heat, some tension. Then lift right up onto your tiptoes. Go as high up on the toes as you can.
And then sink the heels down towards the mat. They don't have to touch the mat, but sink them down as low as they'll go. Again, lift all the way up onto the tiptoes. And then sink the heels all the way down again. Once more, lifting onto the tiptoes, still really pushing with the hands as well. And then sinking down with the heels. Lovely. Now walking the feet up towards the hands, you can look forwards, come up into a ragdoll forward fold. So soften the knees, let the arms and the head dangle. Take a deep breath in through the nose and take one of those sighing breaths out through the mouth. Slowly roll up the spine, we'll come all the way up to stand. Gradually lifting the head, looking forwards. And take 3 big circles back with the shoulders. And coming to Tadasana, mountain pose, palms facing forwards, shoulders relaxing down. Just lift and spread out your toes for a moment and then set the toes back down onto the mat. So you've spread out through the feet, found a nice wide base. Now take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers and try and squeeze your shoulder blades back and together. You can imagine a pencil just here between the shoulder blades that you're trying to squeeze and hold in place. And reach the knuckles then down towards the ground. Deepen the breath here. Big stretch across the chest and the front of the shoulders. Take another breath in. As you exhale, soften the knees, let your belly come towards your thighs and try and keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Lift the knuckles up a little bit, let the head dangle down. One more breath. And then gently let your arms go, let them drop towards the ground. Let the shoulders shake out if they need to. And I'm going to step back with the right foot into a low lunge. So big step back, lower the knee to the mat. Lift up onto the fingertips, lift your chest and look forwards. We want the front knee to be stacked over the front heel. And we're pushing the front knee forwards a little bit. So we should feel quite a nice stretch into the front of the right hip, into the hip flexor there. We're going to take a breath in, looking forwards. Exhale, pull the hips back into a hamstring stretch. You can walk the hands back if you need to. Lift up the toes on that left foot. Coming forwards again. Inhale, push the knee forwards. If you need to, you can lift the hands away from the ground. Exhale, pull the hips back, lift the toes. 2 more like that. Breathing in as you come forwards. Breathing out as you move the hips back. And then inhale, coming forwards. Exhale, coming back. Coming back forwards into your lunge. Inhale, looking forwards. Place the right hand to the mat. And then lift the left arm up into a nice big twist. There's the option to lift the back knee if you feel ready, if that's something you usually practice. If that one's new to you today, leave the knee on the mat and save it for another time. Take another breath in. Exhale, release the left hand to the mat. We're going to step back into a high plank, so stepping through, again trying not to sink down between the shoulders like this. We're going to lift into the back of the body. One more breath here. And then coming all the way down to the belly, you could drop the knees first or keep them lifted, bend at the elbows and lower down with control. Well done. Point the toes back, come up into cobra. Inhale as you lift, try and keep the elbows squeezing into the sides of the body. Exhale as you lower. And then one more of those, but this time hovering the hands just away from the mat like this. So elbows stay squeezing in. You point the toes and lift to where your limit is now. So really firing up the muscles along the back of the body, the posterior chain. They're going to help us later. One more breath here. And then releasing the hands to the mat, lift back onto the knees. And I'll give you the choice to either go straight back up into downward dog, or you could come through to child's pose for a few breaths. So see what your body would prefer right now. There's no bonus points for going into downward dog. If your body feels like it wants to go to child's pose, then go there. And when you're ready to come up to downward dog, if you are in child's pose, slowly lifting up, there's no rush to get there. And then there's the option from there to lift the right leg into three-legged dog, just an optional. Keep the arms nice and straight, press the ground away with your hands, take a breath in. On the exhale, leading with the right foot, we'll step up all the way up to the top of the mat into Uttanasana, forward fold. From there, soften the knees, sweep the arms up to the ceiling. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, coming back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Find your breath. Cool. And making sure you are up towards the top of the mat so you've got space to step back in a moment. Again, we'll loop the shoulders back, interlace the fingers and squeeze the shoulder blades back and together. Nice full breaths. And then bending the knees, bring your belly to your thighs, try and keep the shoulder blades squeezing together, lifting the knuckles up towards the ceiling. Let your head go as much as you can. One more breath here. And then releasing the hands to the ground. We'll step back into a low lunge on the left side. So left foot stepping back, drop the knee to the mat. Lift up onto the fingertips, looking forwards, pressing the knee forwards, making sure the knee is stacked over the heel. So big stretch through the hips again here. Inhale as you look forwards. Exhale as you pull the hips back into half split or this hamstring stretch. Take the hands back if you need to. Inhale, coming forwards, lift the chest. Fingertips might come away from the ground, that's fine. Exhale as you reach the hip back and lift up the toes. Go a few more times with the breath. Inhale as you come forwards. Exhale as you pull the hip back. Once more. And then coming back to the top of the mat, bringing the knee over the heel, place the left hand down and send the right arm up towards the ceiling into this twist. Reach up through the fingertips, stay aware of this arm. Sometimes when we look away from it, it can end up over here somewhere. So keep that arm straight up above the shoulder. And again, if you took it on the other side, there's the option to lift up that back knee. But only if your body's ready for that. One more breath in. Exhale, bring that hand down, stepping through to plank. Holding strong there, again lifting into that space between the shoulders. Take a breath in. Exhale, coming all the way down to the belly. And pointing the toes back. Now this time I'm going to take locust pose. So bring your arms down by the sides of your body. Point your toes, see if you can lift the legs away from the mat. You should feel the glutes and hamstrings switching on. And then squeeze shoulder blades back and together, lift up through the arms like this. Here for 2 more breaths. And then releasing down, bring your hands under your head and take a little rest here. So you can let the legs relax, maybe shake them out a little bit. Take a rest. And then we're going to bend the right knee and try and really squeeze your right heel towards your right buttock. So activating the hamstring, activating through the glute on that right side.
And then see if you can reach your right hand back and take hold of your foot. If it's not quite within reach, don't worry, just bring the hand back again. But if you have got hold of it, you could try pushing that foot into your hand to help you lift up through the shoulder. So the foot is pressing back into the hand. Take another breath here. And then gently let it go and let the leg come down to rest. Then we'll try the other side, so bending the left knee, not using the hand to begin with, just squeezing the heel in towards the buttock. Breathing. And then try and taking the left hand back to see if you can take hold there. It might be quite different from one side to the other, so see how it feels on this side. Again, if you can't hold the foot, don't worry, let it go. If you have got hold of the foot, you're going to push the foot back into the hand now to lift up the shoulder. Really press that foot into the hand. One more breath. And then gently releasing, coming down. Bring the hands under the shoulders, lifting up onto the knees. And again, you've got the choice to either go straight to downward dog for a few breaths, or you could sit back into child's pose for a few breaths. See what you would prefer, what your body wants to do right now. And again, there's no rush to get there, but we're moving back up to downward facing dog when you're ready. And if you took three-legged dog before, we're sending the left leg up now, straight through the arms, push with both hands. Take a breath in. On the exhale, leading with the left foot, stepping up to the top of the mat into Uttanasana, forward fold. From there, soften the knees, inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, and exhale back to mountain pose. Relax the shoulders, come back to your breath. Okay, so we are nicely warmed up to practice dancer's pose, Natarajasana. This is a standing balance, and we'll just see how we go with it. I always try and remind people in my classes to keep a sense of humour when it comes to these standing balances, because of course we wobble, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Don't take it too seriously. So I'm going to do it from the side so you can see where I'm going with this. If this pose is new to you, maybe just watch me for the first go, and then we'll try going through it together after that. We'll go twice on each side, so you've got a little bit of time to get familiar. So first of all, just bring your feet fairly close together. You're going to find a drishti, a focusing point. We're going to take hands to the hips and then send the right arm up towards the ceiling. So right arm lifts up, really active through the fingertips as they reach towards the sky. Now lift and spread out the toes, set the toes down on the mat so you've got a nice wide base. And then you're going to send your weight into your right leg so you can bend your left knee and come up onto the toes. So find your balance there to begin with. Reach up even more with the right hand. Press down even more with the right foot. And then try lifting that knee a little bit higher. Take a breath in. As you exhale, swing that foot behind you, see if you can catch the foot with your left hand. Might take a couple of goes, just see how it feels. You'll know if you can take hold of the foot because you've done it on the ground already. So that pose we did just laying down, it's exactly the same now but standing up. Again, reach up a little higher with the right hand. Try and keep this left knee drawing in towards your body, don't let it drift out to the side. And then maybe you start to press your foot back into your hand like we did laying down, lifting that foot up behind you and tilting the upper body forwards. Let's just try 2 more breaths here. And then coming out slow and steady, come back to centre, release the foot, release the hand. Whew. Give everything a good shake out. Okay, we'll try it on the other side, and then we'll go once more on each side as well. So you've got plenty of time. If it didn't go your way for that first one, don't panic. Stick with it. Come back to feet fairly close together. Find your drishti. Take a breath in, squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, sigh the breath out. Let the shoulders drop down. One more breath like that. Breathing in and out. Kind of resetting, clearing the way to do this on the second side with no expectation. So hands are on the hips and we send the left arm up. Start to bring your weight into the left foot, again spreading out the toes, finding your foundation. Come onto the toes of the right foot. Stand a little taller, press your left foot down into the ground firmly. When you're ready, take a breath in, try lifting the knee. Exhale to take that foot behind you. See if you can catch it with your hand. Lift up even more through the left hand. Squeeze the right knee in towards your body, so in towards the left leg. Pause and breathe here. If you're wobbling all over the place, I'm sure you're not alone. This is tough. Stick with it. Crack a smile if you can. Again, don't take yourself too seriously here. It's just a practice. Now, if you're there and you feel ready, you can start to push your foot back into your hand. And the upper body is going to tilt forward slightly to counterbalance there. Let's go 2 more breaths here if you can. Slowly coming all the way down. Release. Phew, give it a shake out. You'll probably find that there's one side that you like more than the other. That's pretty normal. So we're going to try it again on each side. If you're feeling pretty comfy with that now, if it's something that your body knows how to do, then something else you could try to kind of develop it a little bit further is as you reach back for the foot, instead of grabbing the outer edge of the foot as we've done before, I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra balance help here. Instead of taking the outside of the foot, you could bring your hand round to the inside. So we're turning the shoulder around as we bring that hand round. And then as you start to kick the foot out behind you, you might find that you're able to go into a slightly higher position with that back foot. Just something you can try. If you're still finding the first version pretty wobbly, then stay with what we've been doing before, taking the hand to the outside of the foot. Okay, let's reset. Bring the feet together. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Let's take hands to the hips. Find your drishti, your focusing point. We'll send the right arm up first. Bring your weight into the right foot. Bend the left knee. Lift up tall. Remember to breathe. Let's take the left knee up. Take a breath in. Exhale, send that foot behind you, either taking hold of the outer edge of the foot or maybe trying the inside edge this time. Again, reach up with the right fingertips, press down through the right foot, find your breath. And then if you feel ready, you can start to kick that foot out behind you, lifting the foot up into dancer's pose. 2 more breaths here if you can. When you're ready to come out, take it steady, coming all the way back through, release the foot. Let the arms come down. Well done, shake it out. Let it go however it's going. If it's not happening for you or it's really wobbly, don't stress. Let's just give it one more go and then I'll let you rest. So again, feet together, take a deep breath. No expectation. Here we go. Hands to the hips. Left arm lifts up. Start to bend the right knee. Come onto the toes of that right foot. Find your foundation through the standing leg. Press the left foot down. Reach up through the hand. Breathe. When you're ready, inhale, lift the right foot, the right knee. Exhale, send the foot back, either taking hold of the inside edge or outside edge of the foot. Reach up even more with the fingertips. Find your balance. Find your breath. And if you're feeling ready, you're going to start to kick the foot back into the hand, lifting the foot up behind you. Stay with the breath here. Just 2 more breaths if you can. Coming down slowly when you're ready to release. And shake it all out. Well done. Then coming back up to the top of the mat. Place both feet firmly against the mat. Let the shoulders relax down. Again, we'll take a deep breath in. Maybe sighing the breath out this time. Inhale, send your arms wide, reach up to the sky, bring the hands together. And exhale, soften the knees, come all the way down into a forward fold. Just a dangly forward fold position. Let the arms and the head get really heavy. Let the jaw relax. Take a deep breath. And then stepping back to tabletop position from there. So take one foot back and the other, lower to the knees. I'm going to come into a pigeon pose just to release the glutes, the outer hips and the lower back. So bringing the right knee up towards the right wrist and taking the right foot across the mat, shuffling it as far over as it will naturally go. Tuck the toes at the back, edge that knee towards the back of the mat, lowering the hips down as much as you can. Lift up through the chest, release the toes at the back. Inhale. And exhale, walking the hands forwards, either resting on the forearms or bringing the head down to the hands. If this is causing any pain in your knees, then come out and come down onto your back instead. I'll show you a different version of this stretch. So any pain on the knees, you're going to come down to your back, cross the right ankle over the left thigh like this. And just sort of push that knee away. Another option is to lift up the left foot and wrap the hands around the left thigh, pulling it in towards you. And that's going to stretch out the same area, just a little bit kinder on the knees. And staying with this for just a few more breaths. Try and soften into this shape as much as you can. And then if you're coming from pigeon pose on your front, you're going to lift back up onto the palms. Just tuck the toes at the back, edge that knee back in, so you can come back through to tabletop and stretch out that right leg. If you're on your back, if you're doing the other version, just uncross the legs, stay on your back, and we'll go to the other side in a moment. Phew, so going to pigeon on the left side, we're going to bring the left knee towards the left wrist, take the foot across the mat as far as it will go, tuck the toes at the back, edge the knee towards the back of the mat, dropping the hips towards the ground, lift up through the chest, take a breath in. As you exhale, coming down, again either to the forearms or resting your head onto your hands. Untuck the toes at the back, deepen the breath and try and soften your body into this posture. Now again, I'll show you the alternative version, so if that's not good for your knees, even if you found it okay on the other side, but on this side it's not feeling good on the knees, then come down to your back. I'm going to cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Push that thigh, that knee out away from you like this. That might be enough. Or if you want to take it a little further, you can lift up the right foot and take hold of the right thigh and pull it in towards the body. So that's a nice alternative if you'd like to take it. Just a few more breaths here.
One last breath. And then lifting back up. We're going to come down to our backs now. So if you were doing the version laying on your back, then stay there. If you're coming from this version of pigeon, just edge that back knee in. Release the left leg and give it a good stretch out. Phew. Not always an easy one, that pigeon pose. And then we're going to come down to our backs. So grab any extra layers, socks, jumpers, cushions, anything you need for Shavasana. And then come down to your back and hug your knees towards your chest. Take a little gentle movement, rocking the knees from side to side. And you can close the eyes now if that's relaxing to you. Okay, then we'll drop the feet down to the mat. Open the arms out wide with the palms facing up. If you don't have a lot of space, you could take cactus arms, so just bending at the elbows like this. And then shift your hips over to the left on your mat and let your knees fall to the right. So nice supine twist. Dropping the knees over to the right. Try turning your head towards the left, as long as that's comfortable for your neck. And just relax your body in this twisting posture, knowing that all the hard work from this practice is done. And now it's time to soften and to settle into stillness. One more breath on this side. And then bring the knees back through the centre. We'll go to the other side, so shift your hips over to the right and let your knees drop to the left. Turning the head slightly towards the right as long as the neck is comfortable with that. And coming back to this sense of softness and ease as you drop into this posture. One more breath here. And then bring the knees back to the centre. Shift the hips back to the centre of the mat. Take any final stretches that your body needs before we come to Shavasana. When you're ready to rest, come into that final resting pose, corpse pose or Shavasana. So stretch out the legs, let the feet just drop out to the sides. Or if it's more comfortable on your back, you can keep the knees bent. And let your arms drop out by your sides with the palms facing up. Shoulders resting heavily against the mat. Soften the skin across your forehead and between the eyebrows. Release any tension around the jaw, maybe separating the top and bottom rows of teeth. Feel the softness around the cheeks and the chin. Feel that softness moving down through the neck and shoulders. And a heaviness into the arms and legs. Bring your body to stillness as we rest in Shavasana. Now, keeping your body relaxed, just bring your awareness back to the space around you. Become aware of the ground beneath you, and become aware of your body resting on the mat. This heavy feeling through the body as it rests without effort. Enjoy for a few more moments the stillness, feeling of peace that we're able to access through our yoga asana practice. And take a really full, deep breath. Maybe make it the deepest breath you've taken so far today. And start to bring a little movement back into the fingers and toes. Back into the arms and the legs. Take some time to stretch out and wake your body up again. And I'm going to leave you there for this practice, so have a bit longer to move and stretch. And when you're ready, you can come up to a seated position. If you're not quite ready yet, stay on your back a little bit longer. And bring the hands together in front of the heart in this gesture that we call Anjali Mudra. This gesture which reminds us of our respect and gratitude for this practice, for this ancient Indian practice of yoga. I'll leave you with a Sanskrit mantra that you can take into the rest of your day. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, which means may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words and actions in my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and freedom for all. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I hope I'll see you again here soon.